Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. It is Red Zinger Day. Plus, I want to talk a little bit about should I do this to the backing of my midnight moon? And let's see. Oh, a couple other things, including the Mad Hatter. All right. Do I clash with all this? As soon as I turn the camera on, I'm like, ooh, stripes, 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 stripes. So if you can't see me, if I'm disappearing in just a floating head, it might be just a little bit of the Mad Hatter Day from Alice in Wonderland. Today is a Mad Hatter Day, but we're going to do that after the Red Zinger. So how much should I get done? One more block. I'm calling this a block. Like when you do 4 of them together, to me that's a block. So when I'm saying I did a block, so it's really 4 blocks from the pattern put together makes the next unit. So the next unit up is the main block. Maybe I'll call it the main block. So now I have 5 of those. So I'm not moving along as quickly. I'm not sure why. I think because I have some other projects I was doing. So anyways, I cut them all. I cut all the squares. I do need to do the marking on them, the lines that I used for doing the placement. I got to move those on there. But I am going to I'm going to make them a little bit faster right now. Then I have been thinking about the border, because occasionally, when I've sewn something, or just now when I was cutting some backing for something from my Promise Me fabric, I have this fairly short piece. And there are some places in the block to do the fairly short piece, but also I started thinking, oh, maybe I need to cut my strip and start doing these as well, like if it's more convenient to do that instead of the square while I'm sewing something else. So I might do that. I might get a strip cut to start as a foundation for the border. Okay, another fun thing, Karen, who designed this, Red Zinger, and tons of other patterns you can see at her Etsy shop, she wrote me and sent me a picture of a darling pillow. Isn't that cute? She's sending me the pillow. It didn't get here in time for this video, but she's sending me the pillow, and I'll show you as soon as it comes in the video I'm doing that day. But that's a new pattern, so that if you just want to do a pillow, you want to do the technique, she has a pattern for you now on that. So that is linked in the description box below, as well as the original Red Zinger, which some of you are doing aqua zingers and yellow zingers and white zingers and black zingers. So but mine is red, red, everything red. So it is just looking so good. I'm still not going to set them. I'm still going to wait a little while, because I want to, I don't want some of the words that are really prominent, I don't want them upside down. So I need to balance a little bit, so that as I'm making some of the other ones, I know like these ones all have to be in a position where I can read it more easily, because my quilt will be a wall hanging, so it definitely will have a top, which I can deal with then. And I think, yeah, it's going really well. Okay. Let's talk about Sleepover fabric. Lisa from Quilty Zest, she has a new block of the month, and here it is. It's a row quilt. Isn't this fantastic? Now, she's using my Sleepover fabric, and this is now live, so that you can join if you love my Sleepover fabric and you love row quilts. Maybe you haven't done one for a while. So it comes out for 10 months, and I think it's 8 months. What'd she say? The first day, the next 8 months. Okay, so I think total is 10, including maybe setting or wrap up or whatever. It runs over 10 months. But it'll be once a month. You'll get the direction for the block, then you make the row. So I think this is absolutely fabulous. I was so excited that Lisa emailed me and told me about it. And so links for that are in the description box below here. And while you're there, click the subscribe, because then you'll be in the running for the next quilt giveaway. Yes, I'm going to show you that quilt. Maybe next week, the week after, the one I've already got it picked. So I've got the pick for the 90,000 subscriber quilt. So much fun to give quilts away. I can't tell you, this is so much fun. Now I do have the Mad Hatter Day. So this is the Mad Hatter Day, and I need to take the Zinger blocks down so that I can put some other blocks up here that I haven't had out for a little while. Maybe last year I showed them to you, something like that. So give me a second to put them up on the wall. So Alice in Wonderland is my absolutely favorite book of all time. And I just wanted to share with you that I have 4 versions of Alice in Wonderland. And I'm going to show you the books here. And I'm going to show you the original drawings of the Mad Hatter, who's actually not a very pleasant looking character. I'm not sure this was really a children's book when he wrote this, because the characters are kind of gruesome, some of them. So this is the first book I got on Alice in Wonderland, and Greg, my husband Greg, gave this to me when we were dating. Now, he didn't write in it or anything like that, so he probably bought it for me in, 1977, something like that. And this is really basic. There is a few drawings in it, but it's not overly there's not a lot of drawings. And almost all of these books have Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Both of the stories are in the same book. Then a few years ago, let me see, now she did write in here, 2009, one of our friends, Sandy, sent me this book, and it is more illustrations. So there are more illustrations, and here in this book is the Mad Hatter. That's the fella in the top hat. And he's not drawn quite as gruesome as the original. I think the original is like, ugh. But a few years ago now, I bought for myself, and I should have written in these, but I didn't. But I bought the version of Alice in Wonderland that is illustrated by Anna Bond of Rifle Fabric Company. And then she did an actual line of fabric for Alice in Wonderland called Wonderland. So, and I have a layer cake of that. I don't know, and I have maybe a couple other pieces, but her book is beautifully illustrated. Look, oh. And I'll link you to this because I think you might still be able to get it. Look at the illustrations. This is fantastic. Let me see if I can get another full plate. So, then last year, I think it was last year, the Victoria and Albert Museum in the UK did a Alice in Wonderland exhibit, and I was able to get the exhibit book for that. And in here, it's all about the exhibit, so different artists did different things, but I will show you the Mad Hatter. In here, and this is the original drawings, which might be in that original book of mine. But here's the Mad Hatter at the table. You see, that's the one that I think of, the original one when I see him. Any other drawings of him that aren't quite so, are good. So I don't have a Mad Hatter block. Now there was a sew along a friend of mine did like quite a few years ago, and I might have to go out and look for that, contact her and see if she still has them. Maybe we can buy the patterns. And at some point maybe I'll show that, but not today because I didn't do that research in advance. But I have these blocks. There we go. I'm late. And the pocket watch, the teacup, just some blocks with the rifle paper fabric, teacups, some mushrooms, a key, because the key is very important in Alice in Wonderland. And then the rabbit is actually a folk art rabbit that was from a Needle Love, I believe a Needle Love book quite a few years ago. Those books are out of print. They were self-published books by Renee Nanaman, and I did that one. It's all needle turned applique, and so that is the white rabbit for me. And then someday, like I have a picture, that I've saved off, and I have some other fabrics. Of course, I don't have a ton because I like a particular style. Like one of you sent me this. This looks a little bit Disney inspired, doesn't it? And then this one. So I've got some extra squares. And then this one I think was, Paintbrush Studio. So they put out some. And then here's another line. This is Rifle Paper Company's. That's a bigger print of what is in theirs. And then here's some more from that line. And then some other pieces, some random pieces. There's like a panel with somebody sent me with Alice in Wonderland. And then some word print and the cards, of course. And some more word print down there. Alice had begun to think that very few things indeed were really impossible. Perfect, right? So at some point, it's kind of like working with the Parts Center. I will put this together as a wall hanging. I don't want it any bigger than that. I just want to enjoy it. But the Mad Hatter would be kind of cool in there too. But I'm probably going to just kind of go with what I have and some of these fabrics. So today, if you have an Alice-inspired quilt, Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter, if you have a quilt with teacups and teapots, like here is, this is a teacup. It was a sew-along we did many years ago of mine with a whole bunch of teapots. This is mine, one of mine. Share those quilts today. I think that would be super fun to see what you've done. It's always fun to get this out, and I haven't gotten all 4 books out for a while, like together. So now tonight I'm going to take a look at them. I think that will be super cool to go through them, and I haven't gone through as much of the museum exhibit books. I want to do that. All right, let's talk about Midnight Moon. So Midnight Moon, I have the top, and I've just been a little stalled on sewing the backing because I've been thinking. So I have 3 random blocks that didn't go in the quilt. So I redid the 2 darker ones, if you remember the bat and the candy corn. I just decided that the dark background didn't work. And then this was a really, really wonky piece that I took out, so the frame isn't around all of it. And I'm thinking of doing this, where a lot of people have done this. I think some of the quilts that Kimberly Jolly has sent for me to show you has done this, is where you do the fabric, like you go horizontal with your fabric for the backing. And I'm talking about the backing. And then you will go underneath it with a row of blocks. And so there'd be like a row of blocks and then another horizontal. So you'd have the horizontal of the candy canes and then a row of blocks and then the candy canes again. So I was thinking that, and here's the Midnight Moon in all of its glorious color. Look, well, not color so much, but just itself, its glorious self. Oh, I love it. So I'm thinking of trying that, of doing the horizontal, then taking these blocks and then going into just the fabric that I used for this. Here's the bat on the light. Going in and getting these fabrics and then just do a bunch of squares across. Make these all just a little bit bigger and then do a bunch of squares. Because I know some people will put their label in there, but I don't think I'm going to put the label in there. I think I'll just do that horizontal. So if you've done that and you have a backing picture to share, that would be really cool. And tell me if you would do that. Would you find that fun? Would you find that interesting? Because I'm kind of excited. I think I've never really done that, and I've always liked them. I thought, oh, that's just really neat. Instead, I just usually go, down like this, and my seams vertical rather than horizontal. All right, I have one more thing I want to talk about is planners, because it's that time of year that if you want to get your planner, and I've showed you this one, the one that the Fat Quarter Shop has. It's the Lori Holtz, and I have gotten stickers from some of you, and I have put some of the stickers in, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one. Okay, I'm saying this out loud again. I've already said it once, but I think I'm going to try. I'm thinking of doing this instead of a word of the year, because this year my word of the year died for me so fast right at the beginning, only like a couple months in. I really just didn't have any interest in it anymore, and I might come back to that. I did it for a lot of years, but I thought this year I would like to write in here what I've worked on each month, and not by month but by day. I know, saying that out loud, every day, just at the end of the day, come and jot down what I did and use all these wonderful stickers I've been getting. Oh, I got it. I got these other book of stickers. Hold on. I got these books of stickers. I didn't know they were actual like books. I thought they were going to be sheets. So look at the stickers. I think it would just be fun to mix it up. Like some months they might be these, some months they might be a different style, and then just put them on the pages. I don't know, just for fun. But what I'm thinking of is it'd be really neat for one full year to be able to open this up and look through every page and see what type of making I did for the day. Did I do some cross stitch? Did I sew a binding on? Did I sew some Zinger blocks? And so basically at the end of the day, just take a minute, find a cute sticker, and just have a little fun. That's a huge commitment for me because, and I'm thinking I'll give myself some grace if I don't do a couple of days here and there. Of course, that will be fine. If for some reason I'm not even in town, I'm not going to take this with me, but I might make a note and update it later, something like that. But I just thought it would be an interesting thing to do. The other thing that I got, which is not quilting, but I got a binder for my garden information, and I've been meaning to show you this to you, so I thought today is a good day. I'm probably going to use it more for myself, like use it how I want to use it, but it has printable sheets you can put in here, but mostly I got it because it's together. It's a binder rather than a spiral journal. I wanted something I put pages in and out of, and yes, I could just have bought a regular binder, but you know, it was easy to just get one already done up. Here are my gardening things from this year. These are all this is what I want to keep, and I want to write down what worked, what didn't work, and then this binder has, well, it's got some garden sheets, and then this got some download stuff, but it's got section folders, so you know, it's nice, and then it has these inserts. And so this is what I'm looking for, is the inserts, and then I can put them by sections, and I can, you know, decide what I want my sections to be. So, you know, I might put it by shade, by sun, I might put it by year, I might put it by what I want to look at coming up, because I've been keeping a list of some things to try in the garden. But I need to get these open and in here and put this year's, and then get some from, I have like about 4 years of these that I've saved. I need to pull a few of those other ones out because I have, you know, information on them about plants that are doing well, that are in the ground, that I want to keep. So like I just bought this sedum, and it's so we'll see, you know, it's a fall one that I put in, so I'll see what it does through next year, and then I could document it. And I could even like put, I mean, same concept you could do, but I could put the tag in here, and then I can put a piece of paper in with it, so I can just have it together with my notes right in these inserts. And so I just wanted to get a binder that had a little bit of stuff, had the dividers with it already, so that I didn't have to go and find some. But just if you have you know, a need for any kind of specialty binder, I'm sure that it's out there. Everything is out there, but I'll link you to this one. If you're a gardener and you're interested in looking at this one, I will link it to you. Well, it's down below in the description box. Red Zingers, my goal this week is to do another 4. So I have to do at least 4. I would like to do a few more every week, because you know, I'm not in a hurry with the Red Zinger. That's the one thing I said originally, is that I was going to try to do it a little bit quicker, but that's not going to happen. So I see now that it's just more relaxing and more fun to work on it. Karen has lent me this. I'll have to see how long, you know, I can keep it. It might have to go back to Karen soon, because I've had it a very long time. She's been very generous lending it to me. So there you go. And the other thing is I think I'm going to get a strip and start these, so that I have that available for the short pieces, and just start building that as I go. Okay, my friend, I hope you have a very happy Mad Hatter Day, and you add a little Red Zinger into everything. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being in the Sloan Zone. Oh, wait. I'll see you online.